So you suck at art as a programmer. Well, as a programmer myself, I've got a theory as to why that might be. You see, as programmers, we're very used to instant gratification. We write some code, we test it, it works, we get happy. When we run into a big roadblock and things don't work like they should, we get really frustrated. But we can see why it's not working. We write a little more code, we test it again, maybe we make some progress, maybe we don't. Eventually we solve the problem, and then we're super happy that we've got it done, and we move on to the next thing. But art, well, as a programmer, art's super difficult. You see, the problem is, you've probably put a lot of time into programming. How much time have you put into art? I bet you, at one point in time, you sucked at programming. But the problem is when you sucked at it, you still got that instant gratification. With art, if you draw a hand and it looks horrible, you're not gonna get that instant gratification, and there's no way for you to easily correct that hand to get that instant gratification. Other than practicing, like doing it a bunch of times until you get it right. That's the brute force method. You can brute force your way through art. You can make good art by brute force. It's possible. As long as you know what you need to draw, you can do it. The problem comes when you don't really know what to draw, or you haven't done a whole lot of art before and you want to make a game. Well, you find yourself wondering, okay, I've got an idea for, maybe this character, but I can't picture them in an entire world. The problem is you haven't arted enough. I like that word, arted. So, I have that problem. Let me show you some shitty art that I made. Granted, it's not horrible, I could do way worse, but I'm using some methods that allow me to cheat a little bit. Namely, I'm using vector art. I do sketch first, by the way. Alright, let's see if you can see my screen here. We'll just have you come in a little. Alright, so I created 3 competing stories this week. I started off thinking I needed a character in riot gear. And then I was like, well, maybe I need a robot for my other story. How about a bear for a different story? So was the problem that I couldn't simply settle on a story? Or was it I just didn't like my art and couldn't admit it to myself? So I wasn't happy with my art. But that's okay, because I've acknowledged the problem. Alright, so if you're watching this video, you're either following along through my series, or you know that you're not good at art, and that's how you came here. That's the first step, is knowing that you have something you need to work on. The next step is solving that. Now think how much time you spent in your life to get good at things. Think how much time you spent playing video games over the years. I started out playing Super Mario Bros. And I was really little, and I was really horrible at it. But the more time I put into it, and the longer and longer I played, the better I got. Drawing, or arting, is no different. The more time you put into it, the better you'll get. My problem, and probably your problem, is you haven't put a whole lot of time into it. If you have, ignore me. And maybe go watch a better art tutorial video, or you find somebody with better advice. I'm just a programmer. So I've acknowledged that I need to get better with drawing, and that's gonna take practice. Now, I could just go and do a bunch of random things, and hopefully that would make me better. Probably not. Instead, I'm gonna go and take a couple courses at SVS Learn and see if that can do something for me. I've heard some good things about them, and one of the guys that runs it is Jake Parker, the guy who started Inktober, which I think is really cool. I also like his art style and the general art style that they go for on their site, which is more of a storytelling, storybook type aesthetic, which I think would go great in the type of game that I'm trying to make. We'll see where this takes us. I'm going to show you a piece of art that I worked on from this course. Granted, it was one of those upside down type drawings where you look at a picture and you're basically trying to disconnect your brain from shapes. You're just trying to draw the physical lines out. Alright, so that's where I'm at this week. Hopefully, we'll have some cool drawings to look at next week, and I'll be well on my way, or at least sort of on my way, to making better art for my game because, so we'll take a look at some of the art that I'll be making over the next week and see if I haven't improved at all. I should definitely learn some things because honestly, I've never taken any formal classes in drawing and I really did horrible at art in school. So we'll see. And, you know, if you're looking at improving your art, consider taking a course somewhere, even if it's something free you found on YouTube, or Drawbox I hear is really, really good. I know they're constantly updating their content. I've just heard some good things about this particular course online, so that's the one that I'm going to take and see if it'll do anything for me. Alright, so go out there, draw a bunch, and see if you can't get better at your art. Just draw every day. Draw multiple times a day. Like, draw until your fingers, you know what, maybe don't make your fingers bleed, but just draw. And in the future, I should probably look back at this and be like, hey, you're probably not drawing enough. Draw some more. Alright, see you guys. I'm just a programmer.
Broadcast from Lizzie. Hello, human.